Since government introduced the universal primary education, 8.3 million children have enrolled into school, 86% of them in government schools and the UPE program, especially in rural areas. However, the increase in the turnout has not been reciprocated with increased investment in infrastructure and human resource. Now, critics argue the quality of education has been inhibited as the teacher-pupil ratio widens. To qualify these fears, UWEZO Uganda carried out a nationwide research with a survey of 86,000 pupils between the age of 6 to 16 years in primary school. The pupils sampled from P1 to P7 were subjected to a P2 level basic English and math test to assess their literacy and numeric competence. The findings of the study revealed that only 3 out of 10 pupils in primary were able to read a primary 2 level story. The research also revealed that only 1 out of 10 pupils in P3 were able to read a P2 story, while 1 out of 10 pupils in P7 were unable to read a P2 story.
While in English, only 2 out of 10 children are not able to read an English story when they are in P3, the story of P2. In local languages, 4 of them are not able to read a P2 story in a local language. It's shocking.
To test these findings, NTV randomly sampled a P3 pupil from Chitante Primary School, a government school under the UPE program. Tutu Melchizedek is our test sample. We subjected him to the same P2 basic test questions that were used during the research to assess his competence in both numerics and English.
Juma is a driver. He has 1 child. Her name is Bena. She is in primary 2. Tina and Dora are sisters. They live with their aunt. She is called Irina. She is kind to them.
Tutu may have answered all the questions right, but is just one of the 10% of the children who can confidently read, write, and count numbers out of the 86,000 children who were surveyed in 2012. The research also showed that only 1% of the P3 pupils were able to solve P2 math questions in government schools compared to the private schools at 2%. These statistics paint a grim picture of the primary education system. This, the experts attribute to lack of parent involvement in the education of their children.
Most parents don't have time for their children and they don't care. They even come to bring a child to you that you punish or you discipline. Now, a teacher having 100 children and above, and you expect a teacher to do everything, even the work of the parent. I think there is something that is missing with our parents.
Teachers' pay was also highlighted as a deterrent in the sector. Schools in the rural areas, however, face distinct challenges affecting their performance.
We go without lunch. So a teacher is hungry, the child is teaching is also hungry.
Absenteeism from school by both teachers and pupils, an impractical curriculum, and the quality of teachers were also some of the other justifications for low literacy and numerical levels. Now, some members of parliament want the education policy revisited to improve the education system.
I think we need to amend some of the gaps because it provides parents must play their part, but it probably doesn't provide the sanction. In case they don't fulfill their role, what next?
Northern and Eastern Uganda had the lowest literacy levels with only 4% of the pupils able to read a P2 story. The Central region had the highest literacy levels of 17%, while Western Uganda was captured at 13%. This is the 4th report released by the organization, highlighting the relapse in the state of the country's primary education system. Solomon Serwanjja, NTV.